Welcome back. First, in this video we will create a logout button right in the body of a sign up screen, as I told you already right in the previous video. So we will create a logout button as a leading right in here with the text of home screen on the left side right in the app bar. So let's go ahead and do that. For that we will go towards the home screen page. So for now let me just close that from here, and in here that home screen directory, as you guys can see, open that dot file, and in here now right in the app bar we will have a leading, and then we will set the gesture detector right in there, and right in on tap, which we will do curly braces, take this down, and in there we will simply just log out the user. So for that what we will do, we will say Firebase auth, there we go. We will create an instance and just simply send out the user, write it and semicolon, as you guys can see. Now right after that, whenever the user will be signed out, then we will navigate the user right towards the login screen right after that. So for that what we will do, as you guys know already, we will set the navigator. So navigator dot push replacement, it is going to take the contact, and now we will provide the new route. The new route is going to be material page route. Now with the help of that, let's provide contacts first. From here we will take this down so that you guys can see it easily. Now in there let's send the user towards the login screen, write it and semicolon, and there we go. Now also we will just add the icon so that we can see it right in here, as I told you already. So right after this, in here below this on tap curly braces down in here we will say child, and then we say icons that I will set. I'll go with the logo. Let me just check. You can also go with this one, and also you can see the other option, but I'll go with this one, logout. That is fine. Put comma, write it and now add the const modifier, so the yellow line will be gone then. So we have successfully added the logout button, but we just set this for testing purposes, okay, because we want that current user to log out from this app and go towards the login screen. So for logouting the user we will have definitely a logout button in order to log out him or her, the current user. Now go ahead and hot reload the app. I have already hot reload the app, so there is no need of that, but I'll do it again now. And you guys will notice the output. There we go. As you guys can see the icon, okay, right in the app bar on the left side with the text of home screen. Now we are about to log out this current user, okay. Come here and click on this icon. Boom, there we go. Now we are on the login screen and the current user has been successfully logged out, and you can see that. Now we will go towards the login screen, close that, go back to login screen, open that, and go towards the body of a login screen. So we will go down, and in here, as you guys can see, that press event of a rounded button, okay, for login, that one. Now we will create method as a login, so whenever the user will click on this press event right in here on this login button, it will simply just authenticate the user, and then it will just log in right in their personal account. So for that, first we will create a method. So let's go above the widget build, there we go, widget build in here. we will say void, and we will make this private, so in here underscore, and then we will give the name login. This will be asynchronous, so in here async, and then curly braces, take this down. First we will show the loading dialog, so for that what I'll do, I'll say show dialog in here, and it is going to take the contacts. You will just remove it and add it one by one. Now write it and semicolon and take this down. Provide the contacts first to contacts and comma in here. Now right after that we will provide in here the builder, but first we will go and create a loading alert dialog. We're gonna need that, so right in the dialog box in here, open that, right click, create a new dot file. We're gonna name this as a loading dialog. In here we will have a stateless widget, so write st, and we're gonna give the name loading alert dialog. We don't need this key in here, just simply del this and click in here on the stateless widget, import the library material.dart. So right in the loading alert dialog we will show the content, and it is going to be message some like please wait or wait for the processing. So we're going to need a string type variable for the message. First in here we'll provide a final key, so it's going to be non-changeable. Then we say string type message, create that in here. Now let's create a constructor for that, so loading alert dialog, add an and semicolon, and in here we will say required this dot message. We are done with that. Now jump right in the widget build, and we're gonna remove that container. We're gonna need the alert dialog in here. Take this down, provide the key to key, and then content. So we'll have a column widget, and in there first we will set a property main axis size, and we will set this main axis size toward minimum, and then we say children. Now we're gonna have the circular progress the indicator. We will create that manually, so first we will go towards the widget, open that, create a new dot file, and we're gonna name this as a loading widget. Press enter. In here let's create a circular progress indicator in here, so we're gonna give the name circular progress, create that method in here, and curly braces, take this down. And also we will import the library, so in here import, and then we say package com Flutter slash material, there we go, the suggestion, and write it n semicolon. Now write in this method circular progress, you will simply just return the container, and all of the work going to be right in there. Write it n semicolon and take this down. Now first we will set the alignment for this specific circular progress, and write in this container, let's set the alignment. We will set it toward the center, just center. Okay, now we will do some padding, so in here as in sec we will go with a dot only. We will set just the top to 12 only, and right after let's set the child in here, and then we say circular progress indicator, there we go. Now in there we will provide a value color, and you will just take this down from here. Okay, so the value color is gonna be always stop animation. Now we will provide the colors for that, so colors dot we'll go with the color light green. Action. Now we will just add the const modifier in order to remove those yellow lines, as you guys can see. First to the add insect in here, and then in here add it, and also just find that. So we are done with that. Now close that widget and go towards the loading dialog dot that one. Okay, just don't confuse in that. Now in here we will use that circular progress method. Okay, right in here comma and click on this and add the library for that. Loading widget dot. Make sure it's right down where it has been gone now, as you guys can see. Now we will provide size box in here, so there will be kind of some height between the circle progress indicator and the text that we are about to show. So in here size box and right at end comma, in there let's provide the height gonna be set it to just 10, and below this size box in here let's have a text widget, and in there we will show text something like, as I told you already, please wait. So that's going to be our loading alert dialog. Also the working of this dialog has been done. Now let's close that from here and go towards the body of our login screen, as you guys can see right in here, and that method login right in there. Now we will provide the builder and then curly braces, take this down. Now right in there, in there simply return the loading alert dialog. Okay, that we just created a while ago, and there is gonna take the message as we provided right in the loading alert dialog and set it. So in here message, first let me just add the library, so now we can see the suggestion by the way. Okay, there we go. Okay, now please write, or you can write whatever you want, write it and semicolon. So we are done with that. Now let's move further. We will create a class user in here, and we're gonna give the name for current user. So we just created for this specific current user who will be online, and click on that, import library. That is fine. Now let's move ahead and we'll say await, since it's a asynchronous, so in here we'll say await, and then we will create an instance for the Firebase auth right above. Below this text editing controller we will say provide the key, so it's going to be non-changeable Firebase auth. Then we say the name gonna be auth, and let's assign the Firebase auth dot instance, create that instance. Now copy that and go down in here auth, then we say dot sign in, we didn't see the suggestion yet. There we go. Sign in with the email and password. It is gonna authenticate the email and password for the specific user. So now we will just remove it and add it one by one. Write it and semicolon and take this down. In there, let's provide the email first. So our email, it's right inside that one. Okay, as I explained this right in the previous video in detail. So whenever the user will enter their specific email, it's going to be right on that on change, right in this value, and then we will assign that email, which will be right inside this value, to this email controller. So our email going to be for that specific current user in this email controller.tags, and also the password. It's going to be the same case, but it is going to be the password then. Now let's go ahead and write in the email. What we will do, we will say email controller dot tags dot trim is going to get the email of a specific user who will be online, current user, and then we say password controller dot tags dot trim. So it's gonna authenticate that, and then we say we will simply just remove that, and then we will say done. We will check this also out in here, authentication, and remove that one brace from here, and now provide the curly braces and tag this down. If the authentication dot specific user is gonna do that authentication for that user, and if that authentication for the user will be just, you will assign it to the current user, okay, because we are doing that for the current user who will be online and wants to log in. So whenever it will authenticate the password and email, okay, for that user, then we will assign this right in this current user. That's why in here we create that. Now let's move ahead and now write down in here. First just provide the brace, okay, that we removed earlier. So in here we're gonna need that in order to remove the error. So then if it catch any error, okay, if there will be any kind of error, if it catch it, then what we will do in here, curly braces first, and then we will say navigator. We will simply just, so in here it's showing that red line, because what I'll do now in order to remove that, in here add the brace, okay, right in here, and remove that right one, and then go down right with this curly brace of this catch error, okay, as you guys can see in here, add the brace and add the semicolon, so the error will be gone now, as you guys can see, okay. So in here, as we said, the navigator dot pop contacts, so it will remove the dialog box, okay, and then we'll say show dialog, and it's going to take the contacts builder, as you know, as usual, contacts in here provided, and then what I'll do in here, curly braces, write it and semicolon, and tag this down from here. Now in there we will return the error in here space, then error alert dialog. It's going to take the message, as you guys know. So in here we'll say error dot message dot to string, and write it and semicolon, all just good, okay. So if it catch any error, then it will just remove that dialog box with the help of navigator dot pop contacts, and then we show this show dialog in which we set the error alert dialog, okay, all just fine.